What's going on YouTube? Here I have my Milwaukee pack out with some of my finished carpentry items. I want to show you what's in here, what I like about it, and why I kind of pick the things I do. So here I have the pack out. I don't know which one this is called, but it's 22 by, let's say, 15 and a half, and the depth is about 11. And this kind of barely fits the stuff. I kind of like this setup because it does have a nice solid handle. It's not too big, and I'm not too much of a fan of the rolling pack out setup. So I'll show you what's inside here. So here it does have a little drawer. I just kind of threw the stuff back in here. So here I have a little stud finder, magnetic. I forget what brand this is, but they're about $10. They do come in helpful. I'll usually run a magnetic one as well as a electric one. Here I have a nail set. I find this way more convenient and faster than carrying a hammer and a nail set, and I think cleaner work. It's the spring setup one, and everyone that has used this that's worked with me find them useful compared to the traditional style. Here I have 130 and 220s, and I'll usually run these on my nailer. They seem to work just fine and last all day, so that's one benefit. I like them because they are lightweight, with the nailers being as heavy as they are. Here I have a Milwaukee, I think this is 11-in-1, so great little screwdriver here. I mean, the only downfall I've seen from this thing is maybe not be ratcheting, but it's served me well, and it's only like $10, and it's a great tool. So, and I use this all the time, especially for like bathroom accessories and installing those. I have an angle finder for base trim if I need this. Sometimes you'll have unique angles and you need to find what it is. So this does come in handy. Here I have a couple pry bars, a big one and a small one. I think this is another Amazon one, you know, easy to do, or easy to use, simple. Here I have some nails in here. Here I have a little caulking tool. I haven't used it yet, but maybe one day. Some die cutters, wood glue, some pencils. Now this tool has came apart, but this is I think this goes to it, but this is a little, I forget, center punch, I believe it's called. But these come in handy. I'm guessing there's, oh, here's the spring. You know, this is a good way to find, you know, exact spot you need to drill out, and you can mark it with this tool. And I believe I got this at Harbor Freight for about $4 or so. I'm guessing I don't know if anyone really uses this tool out there, but a lot of the crew I work with use this. But you can see the little dimple it left there. So that's the top drawer. Sometimes I don't have a ton of room in this box, but you know, I like trying to stay compact. Some blue painter's tape, electric stud finder. And I do feel like the electric and the magnetic both have their role in finding a stud, especially when there's water pipes and walls. A combination square. I'd probably rather have a smaller one than this bigger one. Here I have the Milwaukee pin nailer. This thing has been fantastic. The only thing I didn't like is paying full price, but you can. I don't think they really go on deals with these things, but great overall tool. The pneumatic pin nailers are a little bit smaller. That can get into tighter areas. Maybe the only downfall of that pin nailer. Here I have the 18 gauge. the plastic part did rip off on the front, so I took that off. I do think the electric nailing guns, they're not as, good as a pneumatic one, but I feel like these are faster in overall everything, setting up, moving around. So that's why I have the electric ones. Here I have 15 gauge, 18 gauge, and 15 I'll use for setting doors. And the 18 I'll do, door casing and base trim with that. Here I have some belt sander sanding pads, a little light. This thing I got at Costco for about 20 bucks, and I don't know, had this for 4 or 5 years now, and it's worked great. Here's a new level I got, and I like this one specifically because it's a little longer than a torpedo. I believe it's about 12 inches or so, and it's easier to trace because some of those torpedoes come to a point which makes it hard to trace, especially if you're doing shelving and things like that. So I do really like those levels. It doesn't have to be that brand because I know some of the other brands look exactly like that. When I do coping for base trim, I do use a Dremel. I find it faster, more convenient than using a saw. Here I have another Amazon tool. This is what I'll use for cabinet hardware when we're doing a lot of apartments. It's easy to set up for, let's say you're doing drawers, run through all the drawers, set it up for the doors, and run through all the doors. So that's why I like that tool. But that's some of my finished carpentry setup. Make sure to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.